Yay! Okay, I'm live. Just going to let everyone know. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hi there. Hi there. I'm getting started in a minute. I'm just gonna let people know I'm live. Go to my YouTube channel. Okay. Oh, hi there. So, hello and welcome to the two people who are with me so far. Going to take a sip of my energy drink because I really need it. It's 13 past 12 or midnight here in Sweden. Yes. So, we are going to talk about body horror because I asked you last time which themes you wanted me to discuss, and a lot of you actually said body horror. So that is amazing, and I really love body horror, so I hope you do as well. So if you want to comment something, say something, talk about any body horror or horror movie for that matter, just let me know as always, and I will oblige. Yes, just letting some people know on Twitter as well. Let's see. There we have it. Live stream. I am live now. Go to my YouTube channel. Oh, hi, we have some more people joining, so happy to have you. I will get started in a minute. Trying to let everyone know. There we have the link. Okay. There. So, okay. Now all my attention will go to you, of course. So, as I said, hi and welcome. Body horror, one of my favorite subgenres in the horror genre. So, what is the first thing that kind of comes to mind when you hear the word body horror? Is it maybe like David Cronenberg or Stuart Gordon? Or how do you even define body horror? I mean, there are so many different sections in the body horror, in my opinion. Hello, Genja Ninja. So happy to have you here as always. And as I said, how do you define it? Because you can have, the classic body horror where something maybe from the outside comes into the body, and then the body goes through like a horrible, mutilating transformation. But you can also have the kind of surgical body horror, like Human Centipede and etc., where someone else does that to you by surgically removing or attaching stuff to your body. And then you can have, the kind of flesh-eating bacteria virus body horror, like cabin fever. Yeah, and also, with Tetsu, you have the metal thing, machines, where you're transforming into a little machine. So yeah, I mean, there are different kind of body horrors, but please let me know your favorite body horrors and whatever comes to mind whenever you hear that word. I actually found a really interesting quote, or not a quote, but Bloody Disgusting had written something about it. So here it is. Body horror is a reminder that sometimes death is better, as we watch and discussed while the victims are trapped inside their own bodies, as it degenerates and mutates into something unfamiliar and unidentified. On a visceral level, it disturbs because it's disturbing and gross to look at. On an emotional level, though, body horror installs a deeper level of fear because we tend to fear losing who we are as people. Yes, so I really agree with that because it's this sense of losing your humanity, or watching someone else lose their humanity or lose who they completely are. And one movie that really comes to mind and when talking about this is Tusk. And I do have it somewhere. Don't I? Yes, here. Here I have it. Tusk. So that is one of the types of body horror that I mentioned. Like when someone else does that to your body, like transforms it and surgically or via operations just transforms your body. Let's see. The Trash Picture Show Pimp tweeted you're alive. Thank you so much. So happy to have you here. Ginja Ninja, so many different styles, types. Street trash is a classic along with Body Melt, but I think for me, From Beyond is a great body horror of cosmic variety. Yeah, those are all great choices. The Trash Picture Show, John Carpenter's The Thing. Of course, The Thing. I mean, such a classic. Just Peter. Good evening. Hello. Hi. I greedy. What's up, cute girl? Well, thank you. What's up? The Trash Picture Show, The Fly. Yes, of course. Ginja Ninja. Very cool choice. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't watched Tusk, then I really, really just urge you to watch it. It's made by Kevin Smith. It stars Justin Long. So here, so Justin Long is a journalist who discovers a life story told by this older guy. So he's like, wow, his story is amazing. I have to follow his home and to get more of the story. This will be amazing. So he goes home with him and he kind of gets drugged, I think. And then he wakes up and one of his limbs is missing. Yeah. So, I mean, even though Kevin Smith is known for comedies, Clerks and stuff like that, Tusk, I think it's his favorite. It is my favorite movie of his because he just made it so well. Like even though there's a dark humor in it, but it's also really sad and really hard to watch sometimes, just because like what I was quoting in the Bloody Disgusting thing, it's about Justin Long just losing his humanity, and that is really, really sad. Just Peter, Tusk is hilarious. Yeah, it is hilarious in some places, but it's also just kind of heartbreaking. It really is. The Trash Stash. Hey, what's up, Sarah? Hi, what's up, Q? Happy to have you here. But yeah, Tusk, definitely watch this. So good. And also just the transformation scene at the end. It's so well made. It's really, really good. And moving on to another a surgical body horror thing, then we of course have to talk about Human Centipede. Yeah, that is the most, whenever someone says surgical body horror, this is the number one film I think of, because it truly embodies all of that. It really has that fear, and you have a doctor who knows what he's doing, and he explains the plan, and that is one of the most horrifying scenes in that film, just when he's explaining to his victims what he will do. I think that is even more horrifying than when he actually does it, just lying there handcuffed, knowing what's up. Or the Asian guy didn't know because he didn't speak English, so he must have been pretty confused, but at least Dr. Heiter did some drawings, so he could basically understand what was going on. But that scene is just wow. Okay, so this will happen. The trash stash. I need to see the Human Centipede movies. They sound awesome. I mean, in my opinion, they are, and I also reviewed them when I did my gore month. The first one is really good. The second one is my favorite. It's amazing. If you love if you love gore and brutality, then you will definitely love that film. And if you love just movies that are out there, then you will really like it. The third one isn't as strong as the first two, unfortunately, but it is kind of like a dark comedy. It feels like a parody of the first two films just because it's so over the top with everything, the acting, the gore, everything is just over the top. And I laughed most of the time. Just Peter, I knew these films would be in here. Is it one of your favorite franchises? Yeah, I have to say they are, just because it's hard not to, like, you can't forget them when you've watched them. The first one, it's basically more about the idea that's disturbing, because the first film really doesn't show much. It is all about the idea, all about the how they present it, just like when I was saying, when he explains what he's going to do. And then, because you kind of get to see a little bit of the surgery, but it's really nothing graphic. Like, I think the most graphic thing in the film was because the Asian guy, he's the first centipede, so he's the first one, and they are outside, and he has the girl behind him with her mouth and, and his butt, and he goes, "Oh, I have to shit." I mean, that is probably, and the doctor goes, "Yes, feed her," and that is both like hilarious and just disturbing at the same time, even though they don't show anything. That is just what happens, and then we understand what happens. And because we can only imagine that it would probably be really horrible to go through something like that. But of course, these movies would make an appearance in something called body horror. Yes, you can always count on my movie tastes. But so here I have the second one. If you haven't seen my edition of it, here it is. It's signed by the main guy, Lawrence R. Harvey. I met him at the convention, Weekend of Horrors in Germany. It was fun. And here's the third one. As you can see, the cover kind of differs from the first two. So it does already have a different feel to it just by looking at the cover. But as a trilogy, I like them. But the first two, you should definitely watch this if you think that this is your kind of thing. But if you're into body horror, I would recommend it. Yeah. So let's see if I got any more comments. Okay. Do I have any more? Oh, I have a question for you. Do you count like zombie movies as body horror, since you do go through a transformation with becoming a zombie? So let me know your thoughts about that, because I was like researching body horror, and then that came up, like zombie movies, and I hadn't even thought about it. But I'm like, well, they do go through a transformation of the body into something completely different. And that also made me think, the transformation scenes, like the movie doesn't necessarily have to be a body horror, but it can have body horror scenes, like in An American Werewolf in London. Like that transformation scene is like one of the best transformation scenes I ever seen. It's just so painful. It's so well made, Rick Baker, of course. Let's see, I agree. How often do you come to the United States? I've only been there once in 2015? Yeah, so almost 6 years ago, because I was working for a MMA news site here in Sweden, a very big one, and we were covering 3 UFC events that was going on there. I think Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, something like that. It was a long time ago, but I was covering it. I was like doing the live commentary, like live writing what was happening. So I was there for 2 weeks, but since then I haven't gone. It's both expensive and really far. Yeah. Just Peter. Yeah, the first film is a good thriller. It doesn't show you anything, and it makes you use your imagination, which is why it is so effective. Yes, I agree. That is why the first one is so effective. But Tom Six, he got very criticized because he didn't really show anything and people wanted to see something really disturbing. So that is why he made a second one, so gory and brutal and over the top, because he was like, well, here you go. You wanted it, so I will just, shove it down your throats. Like, literally. You will get to see everything plus so much more. So, yay! Just Peter, yes. Glad to know I'm not the only one who thinks these are a body horror. Well, that's awesome. The Trash Stash. Return of the Living Dead Part 3 has a lot of body horror with her piercings and stuff. Yeah. That is also a very good point. Like when you transform yourself. Just like she did in the third film with piercings with just her whole look. Ginja Ninja, I think anything that makes the body change slowly or repeatedly, like werewolf movies, can be considered body horror, but they more fall into their own subgenre of horror. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. As I said, they don't necessarily have to be a body horror, but they can have body horror scenes, of course. Ginja Ninja loved Return of the Living Dead 3. I actually liked that one as well a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah, I was very, very pleasantly surprised, but I haven't seen it in a long time. The Trashed Picture Show. Do you think body horror essential elements is the progressive degradation of the body? The transformation in American Werewolf film, which is terrifying and painful for the character. Yeah, I mean, often, like, the body horror transformation scenes are quite painful, like really super painful. And I think the more painful it is, the more it makes us, the audience, engage and feel. So I do have to say that it does have to have that essential element of the progressive degeneration of the body, just because it makes me, at least, so much more engaged just when I watched An American Werewolf in London. Like, that was really hard to watch just because of how painful it was. And it also makes me think, this isn't a body horror movie at all, but What We Do in the Shadows. When Nick gets bitten and he's turning into a vampire, and we get to see his transformation, which is also quite painful and just done in a way that really makes us feel for him a lot more than in other movies in that subgenre. And the Trash Picture Show, you beat me to it. Just Peter, I hate Tom Six. The man is an egotistical maniac, but as they always say, separate the art from the artist. Yeah, well, I don't really know too much about him, like behind the curtains, behind the scenes. So maybe I have some reading up to do about him. But yeah, I will definitely look into that. And yeah, the Trash Stash. Would you consider the Chucky movies body horror? Chucky stuck in the body of a doll. Well, that was a really good question and a really good point. Like, does it have to be a kind of a human transforming into something, or can it be like a human soul stuck in something, like a doll in this instance? That was actually a very good point. I've never thought in those terms, but yeah, I haven't actually thought about them as body horror, so I'm not prepared to think about those movies in that way, but that was a very interesting thought, and I will definitely keep thinking about it. Maybe do a bit of research, gather some more thoughts. What do you think? Can you call like the Chucky movies a body horror just based on what we have talked about so far, not based on what you've thought about them before? Ginja Ninja, another element is if you can invest into the character, it makes the transformation harder to watch. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Let's see. So, what do you think about kind of body horror movies where the main characters kind of mutilate themselves in a way. I'm talking about Eat. There's a girl here, our main character. She's like a promising young actress in LA, but she hasn't like had a proper role in like 3 years. So she, to kind of cope with her like dreams not coming true and the life she's living now, she starts eating herself as a coping mechanism. So she's the one who's mutilating her own body in a way. So let me know your thoughts about them. And also, we have a similar film, a French film called In My Skin. It's called Dans ma peau, I think. Yeah, my French isn't the best. But she also self-harm, or she does a lot of self-harm and self-mutilation. Let's see. Davis Horror. Hey all, I'm late to the discussion. Would you consider I Spit on Your Grave movies as having body horror elements? Well, let me know the elements you're talking about. Is it like that she's getting revenge on them, or is it that she's being a victim to this horrible assault, and then the trauma kind of transform her in a way, even though it's more like the mindset that is being transformed? Or are you talking about the kills? Let's see. And hi, David, by the way. Nice to have you here, of course. And King Need Gore. Ever seen Baby Blood? Some good baby horror on that source? Yes. Baby Blood is amazing. I just love it when they keep calling the baby Le Bébé. Yes, I think is it a French film or something? Yeah, but I love that Le Bébé. I say it all the time. Yeah, I reference that all the time. And it has a lot of great gore in it. I mean, that movie is filled with gore and it has creative kills. And if you haven't seen Baby Blood, then you really, really should. Just Peter. Would Evil Dead technically be body horror? Yeah. I mean, if we're counting zombie movies as body horror as well in its way, then of course. I mean, they go through one hell of a transformation, of course. Let's see. King Need Gore watching Exorcist 2. Okay, nice. Good choice. Good choice. King Need Gore, yeah, I think it's French. Awesome Gore and Baby Blood. Yeah. I have to get that movie for my collection. I will see where I can find it. Hope it's not too expensive. But as I said, Eat and In My Skin both deal with self-mutilation in a way, some body harm, and I really recommend both of them. So if you haven't seen them but you're interested in this kind of topic, then you should really watch them. Okay, and then someone, of course, mentioned From Beyond. Yes. Really, really, really good film with, Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs, Ken Foree. Yeah. I mean, every time Barbara Crampton is in anything, I will watch it, no matter what it is. Yeah, because I know she will always be amazing in it. But From Beyond is a really good body horror. And yeah, I mean, just the transformation and like the last 30-20 minutes are really, really good. And the effects are super good, in my opinion. One of the Trash Stash, one of the favorites is Videodrome. Yeah, Videodrome is good. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I have it here, of course, DVD edition. But I remember it being really good. I do have to rewatch it, of course, just to be able to give a proper review. But yeah, it was really good. Just Peter, the original Rabbit is one of my favorite body horrors. Yeah, it's really good. It's so good. I agree with you. Original Rabbit is super. King need gore. Yeah. Yes. From Beyond has awesome body horror. Yep. Ginja Ninja From Beyond is so good. The Trash Picture Show, The Skin I Live In. Antonio Banderas turns his daughters would be into a woman forcefully. Yeah. That is a really good one. And yeah, I would count that as a body horror. I mean, not like in the classical sense, but just because, as we talked about, in the surgical body horror way, that you force someone to transform, you do that to them. Yeah, I would say that is kind of a body horror as well. But that is a really good film. The Skin I Live In, so good. Phil's Creepy Videos. Hey there, horror fans. Hi. It's your buddy Phil here. Happy to have you here, Phil. Thank you for joining. Let's see, we've talked about Videodrome From Beyond. And of course, we have to go back to one of the earliest body horrors, which many people forget is a body horror in a way. And it is the original Frankenstein movie. Yeah. I mean, the doctor who does the ultimate body horror thing, he creates a body from different body parts, reanimates the tissue, and it comes alive, and then it doesn't like work as he wants it to, so it becomes kind of a monster. So that's why it's Frankenstein's monster. But it is a body horror. And I really, really, really like the original Frankenstein. So good. And I mean, Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster, amazing choice. The Trash Picture Show, The Void for the win. Yeah. The Void is amazing. I've seen it a couple of times now, and I really like it. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the ending, like the very, very last few seconds, but I really like it. Ginja Ninja, what are your thoughts on Color Out of Space? Yeah, it's been a while since I saw it. I saw it just when it came out in the cinema. Was it early 2009? No, 2020, early 2020, I think. So I don't really remember a lot from it. So I can't really comment on the body horror stuff because I just don't remember. But what do you think? Let's see. The Trash Stash. Frankenstein is awesome. Yep. Let's see. David's Horror. The scene in Color Out of Space with the mother and son. Very thing-like. Have to rewatch it now because I can't barely remember that one at all. But yeah. But I did enjoy the film very much. So maybe we can talk about, the ultimate body horror. One of the best ones, The Thing, of course. John Carpenter's The Thing. Because body horror was also a big thing, in the 1950s with The Fly and The Blob. And then we got a lot of remakes in the 80s. And we also got The Thing. I mean, that was like every scene in The Thing is amazing. And just every scene with the characters, once the parasite has begun transforming people, first the dog, and then it jumps to another person, is it is body horror in each scene, and the effects are just amazing. It's so creative. I love that blood scene when they are checking who might be the parasite. I really, really like that. I mean, you can just cut the tension with a knife. Yeah, it's so good. Phil's Creepy Videos. Congrats on almost 1K, Sarah. Yay, thank you. It's because of you guys. Well, I should say thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. King Need Gore. Never look at alpacas the same way. Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, no. Now I remember the alpacas. Yeah, that's right. Because before I saw the film, people made comments about alpacas, and I'm like, what? And they were like, no, just watch the movie. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, ah, the alpacas, of course. Ginja Ninja, yeah, that scene was heaps good. David's Horror Clown has some great body horror. Yes, of course, Clown. Yeah, I really, really like that film. And if you haven't seen the film, it's about a father who I think rents like secondhand clown suit. So he wears it, and then it was for a birthday, I think, or something like that. And then when he tries to take it off, he can't. Like it has grown, it's stuck. And when it tries to, to tear out the nose, like he tears out his skin. Yeah, so it's like glue, and it tries to take it out, but it can't. And like he's transforming. This costume is like taking over his mind also, so both physically and psychologically. And that is a really good body horror film, or body horror clown film. Phil's Creepy Videos. Videodrome is a great body horror. Yes, it is. The Trash Stash. Have you seen Brain Damage, Sarah? Yes, that's a good one. I'm really happy that you mentioned Brain Damage. Because, I happen to have it here. Yes, I'm a huge Frank Hanenlotter fan, so I really, really love Brain Damage. And, just that scene where he's, like, pulling his brain out through his ear. Yeah, because he has, like, a kind of a parasite that's living inside of him. Wait, what was the parasite's name? I don't remember, but it was a fun name, I think. Yeah, I haven't seen this in a while, but it is fun. And I mean, Frank Henlotter, he's known for making a few body horror movies. I also have Bad Biology by him. And this is a newer Frank Henlotter movie, like not recently new, but like 2009. That's fairly recent. Yeah. This is kind of a body horror, but like in the intimate area. Yeah, because yeah, this is about a girl. She's born with 7 clitorises, and then she meets a guy. Like his thing is also kind of like mutilated, or it has mutated into something kind of grotesque. So they meet, and yeah, it's sparks fly, and yeah, that is one weird movie, but I do like it. It's Frank Henlotter to a T. Let's see. A Phil's Creep Corner and Tetsuo the Iron Man and Tetsuo 2. Yeah, those are great as well. And there we come into another section of the body horror with Tetsuo and Tetsuo 2, like with the whole machines and metal thing going on, just like with Meatball Machine. We have also Tokyo Gore Police. But when the characters turn themselves into weapons of some sort. Yeah. And this is the second Meatball Machine. It's Kodoku. It's really good. I just recently watched this, and I was surprised at how good it was. Very surprised, but I really, really, really like this. So if you've seen the first one and you're a fan of Meatball Machine, but you haven't seen the second one, then I recommend you to watch this. Super good. Let's see. Doomsday Kingdom Army. Hey, Sarah, Phil. Hi. Happy to have you here. Let's see. The Trash Stash. Yeah, Henlotter is awesome. Phil's Creepy Corner. Hey, DK. Davis Horror. Yay. The Trash Stash. Frankenhooker is my favorite. I mean, I really like Frankenhooker as well. Here's my Arrow edition of it. Yeah. So much fun. Here's a little booklet. And a lot of special features. It's like this big. But Frankenhooker, of course, another great body horror. A guy I think he's engaged to his girlfriend, and an accident happens, and she dies. She gets killed, but not murdered. And then he kind of wants to bring her back to life again. So he finds like different body parts, like he goes visits prostitutes to uh, kill them and get like the perfect body parts from each girl. And then, of course, he has his girlfriend's head. And then he somehow manages to reanimate her tissue, and she wakes up, and she becomes a Frankenhooker. Because all of these body parts from the prostitutes, they are kind of forcing her back on the streets to make money. But it's really hilarious, and just the way she looks with all the purple, it's really good. I really love Frankenhooker. Let's see. Davis Horror, watching brain damage as we speak. Wow, that is amazing. Ginja Ninja, have you seen American Mary? Surgical revenge body horror with Catherine Isabel and from the Saska sisters. Yes, I saw it, but when was it out? 2012 to 2014, something like that. So I haven't seen it in like forever. So I don't really remember a lot from it. I have to be honest, have to rewatch it just to be able to comment on that film some more. But I remember liking it. I do. I just have to refresh what I like about the film. The trash stash. I always laugh when he's talking to the body parts after they explode. And he says, I just want to apologize to you all. I'm going to put you all back together. Yeah, that is hilarious. It truly is. And just the ending of Frankenhooker is also hilarious and bizarre. And if you really like Frankenhooker, then you might like this newer body horror called Patchwork. Yeah, it's about these three girls. I don't remember like how they got there, but somehow one day, I think they are kidnapped or whatever. They wake up in one body. Yeah, like the body parts from the different kind of girls have been sewn together, but inside of that body, it's like three minds. Yeah, three women inside of that body, like sharing and trying to understand what happens. And it's really a really good film. I met the director when I was in Glasgow for the Fright Fest, like 5 years ago or something like that. And I actually asked him if Frankenhooker was one of the references, because it felt very much inspired by that, but he's actually said no. But Patchwork is a really good film. So if you haven't seen Patchwork, if you want to see some like newer, modern body horror, then I recommend Patchwork to you. Let's see. Patchwork, I will look it up. Yeah, look it up. Yeah, you should do that. And this director also made a feature film after that called Tragedy Girls. Maybe you've heard of that one. And if you haven't seen that one either, then that is also a recommendation. It's not a body horror, but it's a very good, like dark humor horror movie. Okay, we've gone through like Camel Ladder. And we of course have Basket Case, the trilogy. Like this is not like body horror in the sense that the main character has to really or I mean he does one thing where he does end up in a body horror kind of way, but I'm thinking more about Belial. Yeah, the thing in the basket. Yeah, especially with the second and third part where like all these other characters are introduced. Let's see. Just Peter, Patchwork is also recommended to me on Prime, or it might be included with my Shudder subscription. I'll check it out though. Oh, hopefully you will like it. So please let me know what you thought about Patchwork after you've seen it. The Trash Stash, haven't heard of it, but sounds good. Just Peter, Basket Case is the most underrated franchise ever. Oh, it's so good. It's super good. mean, like the first film doesn't really feel like a body horror until like towards the ending. But when you think about it afterwards, it's like it is a body horror movie, and the second and third one just has all these hilarious characters. Yeah, and yeah, if you haven't like seen the Basket Case trilogy, then you just have to watch them. You really do. Ninja, the whole Basket Case trilogy is good. Yeah, I agree. Like a lot of people don't like the sequel, or maybe is it the third film they have a problem with, but I think all of them are very entertaining, very creative, and I really like watching them. Okay. So, of course, we have to talk about The Fly. The Fly. And when you think about a body horror, you of course think about David Cronenberg. And The Fly is such a classic and sad film. I haven't seen it in such a long time, but it did make an impression when I saw it the first time that hasn't really left me since. And when we're talking about investing in the character so that we really, really get to know them and care for them when they go through these painful and horrible body horror transformation, then I mean, The Fly is just right on the money. We do care about, I think it's Seth, right? He plays a guy named Seth, Jeff Goldblum's character, and it's just hard to watch as he loses his humanity, as he's trying to have a relationship with his girlfriend Gina Davis, and just how this affects them, and it's just heartbreaking. The Trash Stash. I still need to see Basket Case 3. I love the first two. Yeah. You should really watch a third one, so please let me know your thoughts about the film after you've seen it. Ginja Ninja. It changes tone, but I never had an issue with it. Yeah. Videoman and Gizmo. Hello, Sarah. Are you coming to Denmark soon to watch some horror films? Hello, Gizmo. Well, hopefully I will travel somewhere. That will be fun. But when we can travel again, like normal, like before, then we'll see where that will take me. But I've been to Denmark before when I was a kid. I went to Legoland, Lego. Yeah, it was like an amusement park. We can ride rides and everything is made out of Lego. It was fun. Dan's movie report. Hi, Sarah. Hi. Happy to have you here, Dan. Davis horror. The Fly is body horror numero uno. Cronenberg classic. Yeah. I understand why many people immediately think of The Fly whenever they hear body horror, because it's such a classic. Dan's movie report. Hope all is good with you. Yeah. It's good. I had my energy drink as usual, so I'm good. Ginja Ninja, even The Fly 2 was good from a body horror perspective. I have to admit that I don't really remember The Fly 2 apart from the opening scene, so I have to rewatch that one. Videoman and Gizmo, what is your favorite Scandinavian horror movie? I talked a lot about it in my last live stream when I talked about Scandinavian horror movies and Nordic horror, and I really love, Dödsnö 1 and 2, Dead Snow 1 and 2, Rovdyr. Really love. Apparently Norwegian horror is my thing, but I'm also a half Norwegian, so that makes sense. Let's see, Ginja Ninja, I think I need to revisit The Fly and The Fly 2. Yeah, I think I have to as well. Dance movie report, nice to see you live. Yeah, I saw The Fly in the theater. Oh, that's amazing to have seen that in the cinema. Well, it's good to be live again. Yeah, I know it was like over a week ago that I was live the last time, but life got in the way, work got in the way, just didn't have the time to properly just read about the topic and prepare myself and just to find the time. But I'm happy to be here. Let's see. Linus, hi Linus! På tal om Danmark så är ju Midsommar den bästa danska skräckfilmen, haha, inte den nya utan Midsommar 2003. Yeah, he says that the best movie from Denmark is a movie called Midsummer, and it's not, you know, Ari Aster's Midsummer, so don't confuse those two. But yes, there is a movie from Denmark called Midsummer. I think it's from 2003 or something like that. But this month we will actually have Midsummer here in Sweden. I think it's on the 25th of June. So I will celebrate that in my own way. Already prepared with the, yeah. But I will also release 2 movie reviews that day on my channel. And we'll review Ari Aster's Midsummer and then this other Midsummer from Denmark. So you don't want to miss it if you want to learn more about Midsummer. And if you want to know something more about Midsummer here, you can ask me. See, the trash stash, the wasp woman is another good one. Oh, yes. Haven't seen that in a long time, but yes. Ginja Ninja. Oh, this may be another one, but a Natives film called The Curse. Would you include that in body horror? I don't know if I've seen it. I mean, the name sounds familiar. I have to check my Letterboxd, you know. That's what I do whenever I don't remember if I've seen something or not. Have to check it out. Give me a second. The Curse. Can't even spell. There we have it from 87, right? Okay. I have seen it, but I don't really remember, so can't say anything really about it. But I will rewatch it. Videoman and Gizmo, I like Dead Snow 2, but didn't like the first. Rovdyr is okay, I think. Have you seen Night Shift? Yes. Night Shift is really good. It's super good. One of my favorite Scandinavian horror movies for sure. Also the Norwegian horror movie Huset. I don't know if I've seen the Norwegian horror movie Huset, but it does ring a bell. It sure does. Ginja Ninja. Will Wheaton was in it. Oh. Yeah, as I said, can't remember anything about it, so I don't even remember that. Oh. Heroic Waffles. Hey you, sorry late to the stream. It's thundering and lightning here. Oh, really? Oh, are you scared? Is it scary? But so happy to have you here, Heroic Waffles. The Trash Stash. What do you think is the grossest body horror movie? Well, the grossest? I don't know. That's a hard question. Maybe just because of how kind of brutal it is, or how the way it's filmed. But Human Centipede 2, just because in the first one we had the doctor do everything. It was nice, neat, clean. And the second one, it's the opposite. He doesn't know anything. So he just, you know, hammering away, stapling away, giving them laxatives and whatever. And yeah, it's you know, black and white, and it feels so raw and kind of dirty. So probably that, but I'll probably get another one in my head and be like, no, I should have said that one. Let's see. Videoman and Gizmo. Huset is a movie from the Second World War with Nazis protagonist. Okay. If I haven't seen it, I will definitely check it out. So thank you so much for the tip. I will put it in my little list here. Let's see. Huset. Oh, and Huset means house, if you're wondering. Let's see, Heroic Waffles. Well, I love thunder and lightning. Not too bad. Well, then it's maybe it's cozy. Let's see, Heroic Waffles. Have you seen the new release of Halloween from Italy? Looks amazing. The new release of Halloween from Italy. No, I don't think I have actually. No, I haven't. So I have to definitely check that out. I want to see what it looks like. Videomanegismo. Yes, I love Nattevakten. It is the best Scandinavian horror. On second place, Huset. And third, maybe The Dödes Kärn from 1954 or Swedish Vampire, Let the Right One In. Yes, Let the Right One In is really, really good. The Trash Stash. Well, yeah, I gotta see the Human Centipede films. Yeah, you really do. If you think you will like that kind of stuff, or you want to see something that you might be grossed out by them, please do. And I reviewed them on my channel. You can go to my reviews and just comment what you think about the film. I would love to know. Let's see. Ginja Ninja. If the Human Centipede 2 was filmed in color, you think it would lose its impact? Well, it was. There is a colorized version, and I haven't seen it, unfortunately, but I hope I will someday. But I've heard people have seen it say that it's even more gross in color. So I'm really, really excited and looking forward to it. Hopefully it is more gross in color. Let's see. Lina Shaw. I saw the movie The Prey yesterday. Do you have it? It's a cool movie. 80s is the best. Yeah, there are a lot of movies called The Prey, actually. Let's see, from the 80s. Let's see. I don't think I have it, but I've probably seen it. Let's see, The Prey. There we have it. 1983, I think. Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, you mean that slasher movie? The slasher movie where they have that huge flashback that lasts for like the half of the film. If it is that film, I was a bit disappointed just because of that flashback. It was just so long and never ending, and they could have cut out so much stuff. But like the ending was kind of okay. That was where it started to get good, and then it just no. I want to see more. Let's see. Videomanegismo. I hope to see you later. I must go to bed. My mother told me that I shouldn't be awake after 12. Well, if you have to go to sleep, then you have to go to sleep, of course. But yeah, hopefully you'll catch me on the next live stream or one of my videos on YouTube. But thank you so much for joining me, Gizmo. Tack så mycket. The Trash Stash. There's a body horror movie I want to see called Anti-Birth. Ooh, yes, Anti-Birth is really good. I've seen it once a few years ago, but yeah, I remember it being really, really good and just very unique and kind of over the top. Lina Shaw. Haha, yes, that one. Yeah. Yeah. But the cover of The Prey, the arrow cover looks really good. So maybe I will just buy it just because of the cover. And the Flow Chamber, take care, Sarah. Take care. Happy to have you with me. Oh, okay. I thought you were leaving. I'm sorry. No, I just said goodbye to another person who's leaving. To Gizmo. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Yeah, it can get a bit confusing when I'm answering like several people at once, and yeah, I understand it can be a bit, yeah. The Flow Chamber, smash the like button. Yes, just pow. Thank you if you do. Okay, we've talked about The Fly. We talked about these movies, and then I want to talk about another body horror, which is made by Eli Roth. Here we have like a virus or a flesh-eating bacteria, and it is Cabin Fever. Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times now, and I have to say that I really enjoy this film. I really do. Because here we have, a fear of a flesh-eating bacteria. We don't really see it, but we can definitely see the effects of it. So, everyone is scared. They're scared they will catch it. And once someone catches it, it's not pretty. It is true body horror. So what do you think about Cabin Fever? I really dislike the sequels, and I think there was a remake or something like that. And this film isn't even old. Like it's from it's 2002. I mean, it's not old, but it's a bit older than I thought. Wow, I thought it was like 2009. I'm living like wow. Okay, 2002. So it's almost 20 years old. Wow, makes me feel old. Let's see. Trash Stash. I love Cabin Fever. I saw that in the theaters. Oh, awesome to have another Cabin Fever lover here. Ginja Ninja, Eli Roth for the win. Love Cabin Fever, such a well-made movie. The effects so damn good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that scene where the girl, she's shaving her leg, and she has this bacteria which is eating up at her leg, and when she like kind of draws the what do you call it, the shaving thingy on her leg, on the flesh-eating bacteria area, you can just hear and you can feel that scraping. Oof, that's hard. That was hard. Ginja Ninja, the remake was shot for shot, but very bad. Yeah, I mean, it was completely pointless. There was no need for that remake. Like, it was crazy. The Trash Stash. There's one from 2009, I think. I think they remade it. It's crazy. And the sequels were really bad, in my opinion. Maybe you like them, but I thought they were really bad. This one, the first one, is the only one that I like and recommend. Ninja Ninja, yes. And the woman in the shed getting eaten by the dog. Yeah. That was also like heartbreaking when they found out that because she got the flesh-eating bacteria like on her face and stuff, and so they had to isolate her in the shed, and it was just kind of heartbreaking. Yeah. And I also like the ending to that film because you think, oh, okay, these people got the bacteria, but they died, but at least no one else will get it, and then it's spreading in the water. Yeah. The Trash Stash, the cop, and the Cabin Fever makes me laugh. Hey, it's the party man. Yeah. And also, is it in this film where Eli Roth makes a cameo? He's like a hitchhiker, and he throws like dead roadkill at people's windshields when they drive by, so they will stop. I think it's in this one, right? That was just hilarious and insane. Let's see. So, of course, if we're talking about body horror, we also have to mention David Lynch and the movie Eraserhead. Yes. I've seen this a couple of times now, and I am a huge fan of David Lynch. I think I like almost all of his movies. I like Twin Peaks, the first and second season. The third season I have mixed feelings about, but Eraserhead is my favorite David Lynch movie, and also Inland Empire. But this one is just, yeah, it's crazy. It really is. The Trash Stash, I think that's it. He is in it and tells a story about a bowling alley massacre. Yeah, I don't remember that story, but he probably does, and I have to rewatch that movie again. I just want to see everything again. The Trash Stash. David Lynch is great. Yes, he is. I think so too. And what do you guys think about Eraserhead? Please let me know. Like the whole movie of Eraserhead feels like a very trippy and bad nightmare that you dream like over and over. You wake up and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm not in the nightmare anymore, and then you fall asleep and then you're back into the same nightmare. That is kind of what Eraserhead feels like. But it's also very beautiful and just very well made, well told film. Just going to drink some more energy drink. Okay. Let's see if I have some, because I usually write down some stuff that I want to talk about, but maybe we have talked about all of it. Let's see. The Trash Stash. I've only seen a few scenes from Eraserhead. I hope to watch it sometime. I love Violet Heart. Yeah, Violet Heart is really good as well. Yeah. But also, if you like Twin Peaks and you haven't seen season 3, or if you have seen season 3, then Eraser, I feel that season 3 is basically a mix between the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks and Eraserhead. Like, he wanted to incorporate a lot of images and techniques from Eraserhead and his special storytelling into the Twin Peaks 3rd season. So in some cases it works, in some cases it doesn't work. But I'm glad he tried, but Eraserhead will still be my favorite masterpiece of his. Sorry, I had to burp. That was why I was talking so weirdly. The Trash Stash. I love Twin Peaks, but I haven't seen season 3. I gotta watch it sometime. Yeah, please do, because I'm very curious at what you would think about it, how you would feel, because it is very different in my opinion. And a lot of people who I know who have watched it have the same kind of mixed emotions about it, just because it differs so much from the first 2 seasons. But yeah, please watch the 3rd season and let me know. The Trash Stash. Do you think the Elephant Man is body horror, even though it's true? Oh, there we have another great point. Like, if it's true, the Elephant Man, a movie about a man who, I don't know what it's called. Is it called like the disease, something with the elephantism or something? I'm not a doctor, but he suffers from this, which causes him to have these massive swellings all over his body. So if it is a true story, is it a body horror then? That was a very interesting question. Well, if someone is born with it, then maybe not, because they aren't really transforming into that. But maybe if they aren't born with that and then transforms into this, even though it's true, then it is, in my opinion, a body horror, because it is really a horrible experience that really kind of mutilates the body and disfigures the body in a way that the character or person probably wouldn't want it to. But I mean, The Elephant Man is a really beautiful but such a sad movie. I remember watching it, and like when John Hurt is yelling, like, I don't remember what it was yelling, but it was like something, I'm a human too, I'm not an animal, or something like that, because everyone was like watching and teasing him. I mean, tears rolled down my face when he was like yelling that, because he just had enough. And yeah. And The Trash Stash, maybe a body horror drama, maybe. Yeah, but that film is so sad. Yeah. And I just hate people who like tease other people and bullies them and harasses them for anything, for something they can't even control. It's horrible. Stand in silence. Sorry, I'm late. Hey, Sarah. Hey, it's fine. At least you're here now. But we've gone through a lot of body horror movies, and we have talked about a lot of them. But if you want to, you can watch it later, because it will of course be up. But is there any body horror movies you want to talk about? Because I'm thinking of ending this in like maybe 6-7 minutes. So if you have any more body horror or horror movies that you want to talk about at all, it doesn't have to be body horror now. We're at the end stage, so you can talk about any horror movie you want to, or ask me any question you want to. Is there anything you want to know? The Trash Stash. Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, well, Yeah. It is some sort of body horror just because he wasn't finished, but it is a body horror in a traditional body horror sense. No, but it does have elements from it. Yes. Stand in Silence Videodrome is probably my favorite body horror. Yeah, we talked about it, and a lot of us agree. It's a very, very good movie. Very good movie. But I have to rewatch it just to be able to give a proper review, of course. But yeah, I'm thinking that I have to have a body horror month where I review all of these wonderful body horror movies. Stand in Silence, Little Edward, Scissorhands, body horror. That's funny. No, but we were talking about that not all movies have to be body horror movies strictly, but they can borrow a few elements from the body horror genre, like the fact that he wasn't finished. He was supposed to not have these scissor hands. He wasn't finished, and so that is now like his own kind of body horror thing. But is the movie in itself a body horror? No, but it does like borrow elements from it, even though, yeah. Ginja Ninja Nightbreed, which starred Cronenberg. Oh, haven't seen Nightbreed in such a long time, actually. So I can't really remember a lot from it. But I remember it being so good, so I have to rewatch it. Trash Stash. Well, he had scissors for hands. Yeah. Ninja Ninja. Monster body horror. Yeah. Speaking of another body horror with monsters and stuff, you have Slither, like a comedy body horror. It's been a while since I saw this as well. When did it even come out? 2006, I think. Yeah. But this is also a good one, in my opinion. Just bizarre and very transformative of bodies, and just very over the top, but really good, in my opinion. And also, lastly, what do you think about like a movie like Martyrs, where a person has been like beaten and broken down into having like hallucinations and starting to self-mutilate themselves and having a body horror kind of in that sense? Can that be counted as some sort of body horror just based on being uh, you know being beaten and abused, and that somehow transformed like your mindset and your body in some way? Let's see. Stand in Silence. I've only watched the Cabal cut of Nightbreed. For some reason, I didn't really like that film, but enjoyed seeing Cronenberg in that role. Okay. Yeah, I have to rewatch it. Ginja Ninja. Bury the Blob from the 90s. Ginja Ninja, was it the 80s? I think the 80s. I mean, there are a lot of the Blob movies, I think. Or was it Invasion of the Body Snatchers I'm thinking about? Let's see. The Blob. Oh, 88. 1988, The Blob. And then we have from 1958. And then we have, it says, The Blob in Development. It's a horror sci-fi. And it says Samuel L. Jackson. Interesting. Doesn't say any date or anything. It just says in development. Okay. No. So yeah, there are a few the Blob movies upcoming. Stand in Silence. I need to see the 80s The Blob. Yeah, I think that is my favorite version of those two so far, but I have to rewatch them as well. They are funny. Because we were also speaking of how the body horror genre was also quite big in the 50s. with the Fly and the Blob. And then we got all these remakes in the 80s. So the 50s gave us a nice introduction to it. And also Frankenstein gave us one hell of an introduction into the body horror. Okay, so is there anything else you want to talk about? Any horror movies? You want to ask me anything? Because, yeah, I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about regarding body horror. Yes. Have my little baby on a notepad. So, yeah, closing that up. My cat is probably sleeping. Wondering where she is. Haven't heard from her in like an hour. She was like, when I was starting, before I started this session, she was like here numbling on the lights, trying to, throw away all the movies, just trash my place as usual. But she's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, if there aren't any more questions, and I've gone through my 2 piles of all the body horror movies that I wanted to talk about, then I will say good night. The trash stash. Haha, the cat was scratching the movies last time. Yeah, she was. She loves that. And now I have them like stacked. Yeah, like this on the table. So she will probably play with them later. Yeah, because it's almost 1:30 in the morning here in Sweden. So I'll probably go to sleep soon. I don't really have the energy to put the movies back where they belong yet. I will do that tomorrow. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for being here. Stand in Silence. When's the next stream? I don't really know yet, but hopefully early next week. Yeah, that will probably work, Monday or Tuesday. So please, if you have any suggestions on topics or themes you want me to discuss, please comment here or any of my videos or in my Facebook group, Sarah of Horror. So if you're not in that group, then just type in Sarah of Horror on Facebook and you can apply and I will let you in. It's a fun little group. So thank you guys so much for being here, discussing body horror with me. It's fun as always. I love reading your comments and answering them and having a discussion based on them. So thank you so much, and I will see you the next time. So, godnatt. Sov gott. Bye.